So we have. Okay, so now I talk about it. Okay, so it's definitely directed at a specific audience with the references. There's some pretty clever integrations of references to his movies between the birds on the crossbar, the H, and the T, having birds on like a telephone line. And then we've got like a film reel and the Hitchcock silhouette and the movie marathon. So, starting with critiques. So I really like the like stark contrast in just the black and white of the Hitchcock and the imagery here. I'd kind of like to see the knife, the letters there just white instead of filled with gray.
Kind of the balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to keep it so it's following along the same thing of like this nice headline, being all black and white, and it's cool that it's like a knife that's bleeding. I think that could be communicated. It'd be a little bit more, I guess, easy to see at first glance if the marathon were more straight instead of like tapered. You'd get more of like a handle out of it if it were straight, and then if like the red tip, it'd be cool if like the whole image was just black and white except for like maybe just the red tip.
Okay.
Because that would make that really come forward. So as far as these boxes are going to be filled with type, presumably.
Yeah, they're just spacers.
Okay. So there's some really nice movement going with this like film reel and Hitchcock and then like the curve of the knife there. And I like to see the boxes maybe like when you do fill them up with type to move them down to kind of let that breathe a little bit more.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because there's some nice like kind of flowing between the different parts of it that it would help if there was space there. I think there's some good contrast in the different forms of the hand lettering. I think for the rest of it, you'd either, I mean, at this point, if it may look a little bit odd if you did like, if you didn't do hand lettering for the rest of it.
Okay.
I think because that's a nice theme that could be with it is just all hand lettered. That'd be a nice consistent aesthetic. Because if you had like regular typography there, like digitally done or whatever, then these two would be competing a little too much. Because they're both hand lettered, and they're both nice, but they're about the same size in terms of the headlines, and so it would help it if everything else was hand lettered, so it became this like full thing of it as being like an intentional theme of it being all hand lettered.
Oh, I agree.
Let's see. What else do we need to talk about? So, I'm just opening this up.
Two-finger scroll.
Yeah. Okay. So as far as the message, it's saying, and it's pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be a Hitchcock movie marathon. It's very like it's doesn't take itself too seriously. It's directed at people that know his films and would appreciate it. I think. Let's see. Going back to the talking points. Analyze the message, share reactions, critique the design. Okay, so like a checklist, I would do is, if you want to do if you don't want to do hand lettering for the whole thing, I would scale down the movie marathon, or move it somewhere else so that it's not competing quite as much with that.
Okay.
Visually and with the size and with the similar but not quite types of lettering.
Okay.
And yeah, give it more room up here to breathe.
Okay.
And yeah, those are the two kind of big talking points. Oh, and then like the move, I would remove the gray within the letter forms to make it all nice and like the black.
Make it
white.
Flow more up in this area.
Yeah.
Give it less of a contrast to each other than they're not competing as much.
Yeah.
To do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
yeah, just make it breathe out and then have it get rid of the gray.
Yeah.
And the lettering. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Awesome.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's cool. I like the hand lettering.
All right.
It's not easy to do.
It's fun though. I
Yep.
appreciate it, Jeff.
You're welcome.